people a lot more room to have play against it, just because it's not a kill you on turn 4-5 deck. Like, it does have some really aggressive draws, but not all of the time. I do not have any pets currently. An Affinity list on Meme Monday that actually utilizes the Affinity mechanic. Maybe, depending on what that looks like. So we're trying out one of the more traditional Affinity lists. This archetype has definitely fallen out of favor for the Hardened Scales list, and the Hardened Scales list, I think, grinds a little bit better, while this one's like marginally more explosive, but really, it's not even that much more explosive. We got some bots, chat. This hand's like really good if my opponent's playing a deck that cares about Etched Champion. Jackal Girl with the $5 donation. Thank you for the support. Stop bad-mouthing me, you jerk. To Sultai Bill. Sounds good. Sounds good. So, we get what's it called? We get new set cards on MTGO on Thursday, but Moto is weird and you can't actually buy packs. You can only get them from playing in sealed tournaments. So it can be hard to get singles to play constructed from the new set until Friday or Saturday. Oh, weird, Jackal Girl. I thought your comment felt weird, but I was like, I'm not sure where this is going. I wonder if Streamlabs makes you click through with an account now, so I wonder if that means you can't put spoof names up anymore. Yeah, limited starts Thursday, so you can play. You'll be able to play Guild Sealed on Magic Online on Thursday. We are going to have an Assassin's Trophy Day. We're going to have a Trophy Day. We're going to have a Standard Day. That would be awesome, Uprick. Yeah, a lot of the decks that I have in the queue would be our decks that, like, just want that card. So this turns is going to be probably blast this, play Citadel, activate this, hit them for 2. Our deck's probably good against Mill, not only because we have a reasonable clock, but also because we don't shuffle our decks, their archive traps are off. Wrap up for that. That's actually not a bad idea. That's pretty good. They do play Field of Ruin. That is correct. That is something that they do. But having to activate Field of Ruin is a lot more work than just like us shuffling and giving them a freebie. I don't know about Bridge or Bust. They're milling a lot of cards with this Mesmeric Orb. Like, they have these Shelldock Isles coming up soon. Nah, trying. You're better off just like, yeah, I'm more likely to predict the winning lottery numbers than I am to predict like what Wizards of the Coast is going to do with their banned and restricted list. They're just like super inconsistent with what they do. Another Field of Ruin. Rude. All right, so attack for lethal. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's better EV and when it guessing winning lottery numbers. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. All right, this is not a Karn matchup. Honestly, this probably isn't a Etched Champion matchup, huh? How do we feel about Rest in Peace? It turns off their draw 3, but that's about it. They could have Jace's Phantasm. I don't know. I think being up a game, I don't really want. Yeah, it stops our Arcbound Ravager, which is like really worth noting, right? Like you basically only want to bring it in when it's going to be like really, really reasonable. Scion needs a payoff, but like seems pretty reasonable. If we hit a payoff, this seems like the stones, right? Yeah, it's possible Grudge should come in not even just for Orb, but for what's it called? Oh, I'm blanking on its name. Ensnaring Bridge. October 1st, so Monday's the update. OX101, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine with that. Welcome. So we can beat Bridge by... what's the word? We can beat Bridge by attacking through it with a 0 thing and then sliding Cranial Plating onto it at instant speed. Signal Pest also okay. Get him for one here. Beetle push. That's rude. My poor little Memnite chat. He had so much to live for. He had his little metal heart never did nothing to nobody. Would like to introduce you to my fat stubby D. All right, power him up. Rude. How stubby is your D? Well, it was a little bit soft there. It was a soft stubby D. It wasn't a hard counter. It was a soft counter. Another bridge, brutal. Yeah, I'd be surprised if this gets there. I assume they're going to be able to empty their hand in the next turn or two, which means we're going to need to draw a Cranial Plating. Yeah, the bridge isn't currently doing anything, which is good for us, obviously. Hopefully they just like continue floundering about and dying. Just like need them to have 2 lands in hand and then they're dead. Yeah, Restore Balance has some really good matchups in the format, Anner. It's very similar to what's the word I'm searching for? Has very similar matchups to Living End in my experience. They were a little infected there. All right. We're waiting for the second match this league to pop. I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out here today. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time stream, meme, magic content producing machine here on Twitch. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the reason I'm able to do this like I do. I love streaming Magic. It's a great game, but my subscribers are the reason I'm able to do this full-time. If you're one of the many people in the world who has Amazon Prime, if you link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, you get Twitch Prime included with that for free. And Twitch Prime gives you a free channel subscription every single month to a channel of your choice here on Twitch. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it supports my content and whoever you give that to just the same. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. We'll have to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you, and if you use code HOGLANPayPal and check out with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. BCW Supplies will love to help you protect your Magic cards and other gaming accessories. They do sleeves and deck box and all sorts of other great stuff that you can find at bcwsupplies.com, which you can save 10% on your orders there by using code Jeff10. Finally, Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 3 months now, and we really love it. I don't think we'd ever go back to a traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new mattress with them by checking out links bit.ly/HugelbedUS and bit.ly/HugelbedCA. Yeah, Honey, the contract for Honey added, so that one dropped off. Don't worry. We're working to bring more people into the shilling. We've always got a lot of the non-Magic, non-gaming sponsors or shorter contract sponsorships. Yeah, the widget we used doesn't fill up all the way. I just found something quick. This hand's really good. We get to go this into this, and then have a Cranial Plating on two. The bird matchup tends to be pretty good for this archetype, mostly because the bird matchup tends to be good for this archetype for 2 reasons. The first is that we don't take a lot of damage from our lands. The second is that Vault Skirge is a thing. I think the bed sponsorship should be up through the end of the year. The Lisa sponsorship is a little bit different than some of the other ones. I think that one's going to be up for a little while. Because that one, beds aren't something like a lot of these other ones that I do that like people like go out and like buy clothes or like install an add-on and stuff like that all the time. Beds are longer term purchases. Stop killing me. I'm dead already. Thank you for the support, Basin. So, am I supposed to jam... Am I supposed to just jam? I think I'm just supposed to jam Signal Pest here and just like get my race on. I think I want to hold the Galvanic Blast because if they play like Eidolon next turn, I'd like to kill that. Wonder how much of my audience is on the North American continent. I have metrics on Google. On my YouTube metrics, I assume translate to Twitch pretty well. I have some rough estimates on that. Arcbound Ravager. No, I'm like 0% to be... I'm like 0% to play, to attack with Inkmoth Nexus on 2 here. And now I'm gonna play that out. Yeah, my Twitch stream itself is definitely EU friendly time, but I get a lot of people that like are able to watch at work too, while they're in the United States. And then my YouTube channel picks up a lot of coverage as well. Like my watch time on YouTube is actually very similar to my watch time on Twitch. I get a lot of overlap. So I'm gonna go ahead and this number checks when it resolves too. Oh, huh. So I just Galv Blast this one? Or do I... This is close. Yeah, I think I just Galv Blast this one. I want to see if you bring a hollowed. I'm pretty set on playing an Assassin's Trophy deck in Columbus. Pretty confident that's what I'm going to be doing there. I'm definitely casting this. Do I just like play plating and Vault Skirge here? I think so. Do I want to attack? The attack with the Ravager is probably pretty free, right? Of course, I could also like block with the Ravager and then sack a bunch of stuff to it. Yeah, sacrificing takes away counts for plating. I'm just gonna pass for a hot second, I think. Blue-Black Fairies has been really good every time we've played it. The deck's been really impressive on stream. So this is definitely a Whipflare matchup. It's probably an Etched Champion matchup, honestly. Yeah, you should play for Assassin's Trophy, in my opinion. You can read about my thoughts on Assassin's Trophy in my article from 2 weeks ago on Cool Stuff Inc. I assume we'll get no changes, Pikes. I assume when they eventually unban stuff, it's going to coincide with the set release. You can always find my thoughts on a deck that I've played in the wrap-up segment of the videos where we play them. So if you click into the YouTube videos and you expand the description, all of the match start times and the wrap-up at the end are tagged so you can skip around very easily. Should always count on past Jeff being more educated on the deck than current Jeff, because current Jeff has played a lot of decks between when past Jeff played it and now. I don't know that grid is good enough. I feel like I just want to block. Like, putting in that many 3-drops in this matchup seems loose. Teferi's gonna get bad because I finally got my playset. There's someone who's been burned a few times. Oh no, chat. I forgot to bring a spoon down with me this morning. I have nothing to eat my fruit cup with. I guess it's just a trail mix kind of morning then. Seems pretty dope. This mix is actually really good. I did something incredibly un-American last time I went to the store, and I intentionally looked for trail mix that didn't have chocolate in it. And this is the one that they had there. It's actually really good. It's got like dragon fruit and stuff in it and kiwis, so it's got a lot of like more sweet fruits as well as like some sweet in it without having candy. I don't know that I have Anoronics. Thank you for the very generous sub gift. I don't know that I've had tempura before in recent memory. The quality on tofu varies pretty wildly. Tofu can either be very good or terrible depending on how it's prepared. Tofu that's prepared well is very good. As someone who doesn't eat meat, I eat a fair bit of tofu, and like the quality range on it is pretty absurd. Yeah, the new emotes are great at Bingo. That one and my logos for the site were done by oh, I'm blanking on her name. They were done by Inkling Customs, and then the other updated emotes were done by my buddy that does the rest of them. I've been played, chat. I've been played. Whew. Thankfully my deck's got my back here. Yeah, tofu texture can be a little slimy, which is bad for some people. Actually, someone asked why I don't eat meat. I just don't enjoy meat, the flavor of it. And actually, the texture of it gets me a little bit too. A lot of like chicken tends to be like stringy, and I'm not really a fan of that. This is really aggressive. Unless they have double Goblin Grenade, and then we're dead. Why do they always have double Goblin Grenade, chat? Why do they always have double Goblin Grenade? Whew! We didn't get double grenaded. That's impressive. I thought for sure we were gonna get double naded there. Playing this out first lets them Vault Fanatic it, but it also saves me a point upstairs. This was probably loose. I wanted to tap this here so I could not take damage, but now I've given them the option to Mog Fanatic my Vault Skirge instead of Mog Fanaticing me. So that's probably bad. Compared to like the average, you know, bean or plant texture, chicken has a stringy type texture to it. Corn Holy, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. They're at such a high health total here that I'm not going to get in my free attack with the champion because they could draw a haste creature extra to punish us for it. I think I definitely just like, we're not close enough to be racing, so I just want to be conservative here. Dylan Bane, Black Red is one of the many decks that you can find on my website. And the goal of my website is to always be able to find my latest deck list there. So lots of great stuff to find there. Yeah, Cranial off the top is like unbeatable for them, basically. Smash is pretty brutal there. They came to play. This is one of the downsides of playing an artifact-based deck like this is if people want to beat you, generally speaking, they're gonna beat you. I assume this is just like Bushwhacker and they're gonna kill us. Yeah, good game, opponent. The 8-whack deck just has so much reach. Both the combination of the absurd reach along with the taking very little damage from their mana makes the 8-whack deck just very, very powerful. I'm gonna run this back. I don't think I want Aether Grid. I think I'd rather have the Etched Champions of the Whipflares here. Though Aether Grid is definitely a little bit better on the play. Thanks, Jojo. I'm glad you find it useful. It's pretty good. It's got some spot removal. It's got plenty of mana. It's got some payoffs. I just start smashing here, right? Yeah, just like be aggressive. In for 4. I think Engineered Plague, I probably wouldn't be good enough, honestly, Jekyll. Yeah, Amy's frozen meals are great. Amy's and Sweet Hearth are my go-to for frozen foods. They're both very, very good. At my LGS, when my opponent combos off, I play We Like to Party on my phone. That's great, Death Eater. They're definitely on the more expensive side. But they still end up being cheaper than like going out to eat, which I do fairly often as well. So, and the quality on them is much better than the cheaper frozen meals. Well, that was vomit inducing. That could have gone better for me. Like, I'm turtling up okay here, but I kind of lack a good way to really end the game. Nah, I don't think so, Inner. I think it's just pretty narrow overall. Also, Solemnity is not good against Counters Company. Oh, wait. Does Solemnity prevent Devoted Druid from untapping? I don't think it does, right? You're the worst, JW. The Stone Cold Bratwurst. Kick it. Do 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 do. All right, so they're gonna have trample, so chump blocking doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and block here, and then ditch a couple artifacts to make this a 3/3. Down to 12, and they have 4 cards in their hand. I'm basically like a DJ of like bad rock music and early punk pop from the late 90s, early 2000s. We mix and match here, okay? I don't know how I feel about dried kiwi. The rest of this mix is really good, but dried kiwi is weird. It's got a strange something to it. All right. So do I fire up Inky in an attempt to this radio station is a mix of all the things I like to listen to. Do I fire up Inkmoth in an attempt to bait the Mog Fanatic activation? They probably don't care about the Inkmoth. I'm just going to play this Deal Overseer out to get them to Mog Fanatic it. And we'll just spin it to the Ravager when they do. Yeah, I'm just on like full defense here. Can I kill them with Inky next turn? That seems unrealistic. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 3 more. We're pretty far off of an Inkmoth kill here. So I got to untap with Overseer. I don't think they're dead, right? So what happens is I animate this. I activate this. They shoot this in response. And then I would go, this is still at 3 counters because this trigger is on the stack. And then I'd go sack to 4, sack to 5, sack to 6. And then sack this to itself. No, I'm 2 short of lethal. I'm 1 short of lethal even if they didn't do anything, but I'm 2 short of lethal assuming they Mog Fanatic the Inkmoth in response to the Overseer. Which is unfortunate because I assume they're going to burn us out next turn. I would be pretty surprised if we get another turn, but I just can't do anything here. What about Champion? Champion's an interesting question. Like, what if they shoot the Overseer here in response to this Arcbound Ravager? Can I kill them? Can I kill them with the Etched Champion now? So, and this is the part that makes Affinity tough. You have to do this math very quickly when you're in a tournament. Like, I have 10 minutes right now to do it, which is nice. So, if I animate this, and then I activate this, activating this makes this 4, 5, 6, and then this is 7, 8, 9, and then I get a bonus item. I think am I 1 short? I think I'm 1 short. So let's count through this again. So this is, if I animate this and sacrifice. Yeah, I have 10, right? Yeah, I have 10 by sacrificing 1 Ravager to the other. Oh, I also have to keep 3 artifacts. Well, I don't have to keep 3 because I can attack and then after blocks before damage, put everything on top of it because they can't like bolt it or anything like that. I net 1 counter. All right. So this is how this works here. If you just type in all caps without specifics, you get timed out. So let's count it one more time. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 12. No, I'm pretty sure it's 12 because I have 6 counters after I activate this, and then this is 6, 7, 8, 9 more, and then when I sacrifice this Ravager to this Ravager, it gives me a 10th counter, which puts me to 12. Yeah, it's 12. Oh, Etch becomes a 3/3. Etch becomes a 3/3. Sweet. I forgot about Etch becoming a 3/3. So I have 10 counters to move from Ravagers. But okay, so that's, yeah, we've got it. Right? I want to count this one more time. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 from the sacrifice to the other one. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure it's exactly 13 because I was counting 12, not remembering that this was going to get a counter. We can move 10 counters from Ravagers to Etched Champion. So we let no blocks happen. Yeah, I was so focused on Steel Overseer counting the counters from the Ravagers that I forgot about Steel Overseer powering up Etched Champion too. It was a good turn. This was a good educational turn. And like this is a turn where like this kind of counting gets even more convoluted in the hardened scales variation of robots where you like have hardened scales doubling things and stuff like that too. Sure, the attack with Ornithopter is technically free. Technically free. Oh, they can kill Ravager in response to the Overseer activation. No, that doesn't matter because I just sacked the Ornithopter. That doesn't matter. I would sack the Ornithopter. No, we have plenty. We have plenty. Yeah, we just sack a thing. That doesn't matter. All right, let's put 10 counters on my Etched Champion here. Life was much simpler when we were just upticking Tomry Rod. Ain't that the truth? Yes, this one will put 5 over. This thing will get a counter. This will sacrifice itself and put 5 counters over. Look at that. Look at that. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. Apologies, opponent, if you go back and watch this match. I really am just slow at counting and missed it a couple of times there. Everybody knows mid-range decks are the most skill-intensive in Magic, right, Burgle? I've got interaction, Burgle! Blarg, blarg, blarg! Interaction! This is an acceptable use of Tank Lethal You. Will you be streaming Modern Black Green this weekend when I'm able to get torch for it? Yeah, definitely. This weekend's probably going to be exclusively decks that have guilds cards in them, assuming I can get access to guild card of Magic Online. It really is, Bossum. If you want to experience in a legal manner the music that I would be playing while streaming, that link has the music that I would be playing while streaming. Turn one Overseer, NBD. If it tells you Pandora is not available where you live, this is an excellent opportunity to educate yourself on how a VPN works. You can thank me later. When Christy and I went to the Bahamas, Netflix wasn't available there. God bless VPNs. Devoted Druid's pretty scary here. Lou Mason, thanks for re-upping that Twitch Prime for the 4th month in a row. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. All right, well, if we get a turn 4, they are dead. Unfortunately, we might not get a turn 4. I'm loving the 4-color Geist deck and Bant Super Friends. Keep up the great work. Stephen Douglas Weeks, thank you for the 5 months. Thanks for keeping me employed here for another month. Welcome back. And yeah, both those decks are awesome. I think the Geist deck's a little bit more competitive, but the Bant deck's fun. Could I have killed them there? Did I miss lethal? I couldn't have killed them if they didn't fetch, right? Like, I could have done +4. No, it doesn't matter because Cranial Plating Ravager, it negates it. No, it doesn't matter. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Ignore me. Am I dead yet? We're not dead till they play a payoff, which they always have, but I'm gonna make them show me the payoff. Yeah, they need to put a Duskwatch Recruiter into play. I'm not going to make them click through their combo, but I'm going to make them show me that they have it. So, my time is worth more than making them click through their combo, but I'm definitely not going to concede a game that we're not dead in. Man, this league's been really bad for the main deck cards. I don't know that they're bad in general, but this league has been bad for them. This is a matchup where I trim Etched Champion. The matchup's kind of about attacking, but we don't block very often, right? And they don't really have a lot of point removal. The Counters Company deck kills on turn 3 very consistently if it is Druid on 2. If you have Druid on 2, you kill on 3 pretty consistently. I think I'm going to cut these, like bring in 1 stub. Seems fine. Probably happy to see 1 stub most games. Almost certainly never want to draw 2. Now, I don't think I want to bring in too much disruption. Affinity is definitely a deck that's prone to overboarding. Like, when you're a proactive deck like this that has kind of an engine of sorts in it, you don't want to dilute too much by bringing in too many ways to interact with what your opponent has going on. I think I'd rather have Stubborn Denial than Thoughtseize. The opponent's deck plays off the top pretty well. I'm going to keep this one. This one seems potentially okay. I've heard that Modern is about drawing sideboard cards. A little bird told me. Oh, Jar. Yeah, Jar should probably come out for the other stub. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. I forgot we had a Jar hiding in our main deck. Papa needs a 0. Papa needs a 0. I didn't Blinkmoth first because I'm not attacking with Blinkmoth on 2. And if I draw another Darksteel Citadel, I could cast this without sacrificing a Mox Opal. Although I guess if I bricked on something to do here, I might want to attack with Blinkmoth on 2. Yeah, maybe it is better to do that. I definitely led on the Darksteel Citadel intentionally so I could draw a second to play the Aether Grid out, but maybe that's just loose. It's like drawing a second Citadel exactly, it's pretty narrow. Now, in spite of what it may look like, Ghirapur Aether Grid actually isn't very good at keeping my opponent off of their combo. Because once they have Devoted Druid and Vizier in play, we can't disrupt them making infinite mana. They're just going to make infinite mana. Because even if you go to kill the Vizier in response to them untapping, they just untap it again in response and continue killing you. I whip my flare back and forth. I whip my flare back and forth. Just get him. Just get him. Arrgh. Arrgh. Yeah, the opponent's deck definitely wants a bunch of Night of Autumns. Oh no. Oh no, not a grizzly bear. Not a grizzly bear. Watching on YouTube for weeks and I had no idea I could have been paying you with Prime. I need to plug that more. Thank you. Thank you for the Prime support, Mr. Spooner. I appreciate that. Pays my bills. I'm gonna hold this Whipflare for now. Use the Aether grid to power through what they play out until they answer this grid. This is the most grizzled of bears. Bears are scary. They go grrr. Watch him whip. Watch him nay. Some people don't like when I just whip it out. Let's whip it all around. Whip it good. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Crack that whip. That's probably a more fitting song for that moment, eh? Crack that whip. How do we ever beat a kitchen fix? The good old kitchen stinks. Is it just me or is something stanky in here? Nah, the format's kind of at a point where, like, there's enough Field of Runes and Past Exiles running around that just, like, having access to a bunch of basics is good, I think. What if I told you, instead of, am I going to shoot all their things? Can I shoot? I can shoot most of their things here, right? I was going to say, I would say maybe maybe I just don't shoot their things, but that's a lie. I'm definitely just going to shoot all their things here. Oh my gosh, I miscounted. I can't kill the Duskwatch Recruiter this turn. That's a punt. I thought I was going to have enough artifacts left over while paying mana for this, but I miscounted. Still. Whatever. We should still be fine. MTG bot. Really didn't matter. Yeah, definitely should have taken 2 out the Vault Skirge. 10 out of 10. Yeah, if they spend their turn activating a recruiter, it's just like really not a big deal. Would you believe, chat, that as one of the top 3 largest Magic streamers, I wasn't invited to this? I'm not surprised, but just, you know, thanks, Watsy. Love you. I'm not salty at all. They paid a bunch of Hearthstone streamers to play in it, though. Is this how the pros felt? Is this how the pros felt about the Silver Showcase? They paid for, like, Cryptarian and Kibler to be sponsored to stream in it. This is how the Magic professionals felt, right? They have they're giving them every card in standard to play for that event. They're giving them full constructed accounts to play for the day. That's true. Yeah, I don't. WotC doesn't give me shit. The only thing WotC doesn't give me anything. The only service WotC does for me is not ban me from playing Magic. I've streamed Magic Arena, thank you very much. We had a sponsored Magic Arena segment on this channel. You're not wrong, extras. They really should. Look, they paid me a lot of money to stream Magic Arena for an hour. God bless them. I'm gonna mulligan that hand because it doesn't have any of our sideboard cards in it. This hand also doesn't have sideboard cards, but it's got a lot of payoffs, so I'm gonna keep it. You can't file for comp on Arena. I'm gonna bottom a non-land on Whipflare here. The Magic Arena event is sweet. That's the type of thing they should be doing. It's good promotion for the game. It's fine. I'm taking tomorrow off because Moto has downtime anyways. I don't think y'all realize the absurd amounts of money these companies pay for sponsored streams. I get paid a good amount to stream decks on here. What they paid me for an hour of a sponsored stream was an absurd amount. I don't actually know if I'm allowed to tell you a number. I need to check the bounty board details. I need to go back and check. I'm not actually sure. It was less than 4, but it was pretty close. It was pretty close to 4 digits. You only had to keep a minimum of like 500 or so, or 600 or something like that. Bye, friend. So like when you see people that do like a ton of different sponsored streams, they're getting paid a good chunk of money to stream other people's games a lot of the time. Which, again, isn't dumb. Twitch is the best advertising you can have for a video game product. It is someone literally playing your product. Yes, you get paid in relation to your average viewer count during the time when you streamed it up to a certain maximum threshold. And I actually didn't even hit the maximum. I was close, actually, but we didn't actually hit the maximum that day. I think I was like 80% or something. Well, their draw is also pretty bad here, which is good for us. Whew. So this thing flipped into a 3-drop, unfortunately. It's a little sad. So we're not gonna whip it just yet. Do I play this other Mox Opal to flip this back? I don't think so. I think they're probably going to play 2 cards next turn anyways because they hit a Birds of Paradise, right? Yeah, I'm fairly transparent with my sub count. Like I currently have 1,874 unique subscribers, and every subscriber accounts for about $3 or so. per month that they renew. Yeah, and a bit more for tier 2s and tier 3 aimboat spots. That is correct. I make as much streaming magic as if I had a systems analyst job. There is a reason why my kids are in daycare, and it's not out of the kindness of my heart. It's because this pays me money like a job. I love this job, and it is awesome and a ton of fun, and I'm grateful to have it. But it does pay me like a job. I'm not a charity here. Amazon Prime subs for me are identical to a tier 1 sub. So I get about $3 for an Amazon Prime sub too. Yeah, taxes are filed just like I get a 1099 from Amazon. If you ever had one of those, or you can Google it. Is this a concession Whipflare? This feels like a concession Whipflare. Yeah, Alex, Jet knows where we're at. Jet knows where we're at. They understand. Bye, friends. Oh no, we're getting forge tendered. The pride cometh before the fall, chat. The pride cometh before the fall. The pride cometh before the fall, chat. Ugh. Yeah! They're not boarding a forge tender! Yeah! No forge tender! Yeah! Yay, we did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. I don't know if we had lethal. I wanted to kill all their stuff. Did we have lethal? I don't know. Probably. Alright, let's end up for the last couple matches here. Slow and steady. Yeah, Fortuner's a fine card. Gives Lightning Bolt decks fits. Although I guess like with control decks more moving towards blue-white away from Jeskai, Fortuner's stock like does go down a little bit. So this has like 5 lands in it, but 2 of them attack. It has a turn 1 Ravager, but like is turn 1 Ravager like really good enough here? Why do I use a standing desk? Because sitting for 8 hours straight is terrible. It's uncomfortable for my back and bad for it. I think this is like the low end of keepable. I'm not like excited about it, but I think it's a keep. Jeff, why instead of doing other things are you drawing cards? Have you ever drawn Magic the Gathering cards before? I enjoy drawing Magic the Gathering cards. No, there's not a good answer to Terminus. So I'm gonna go on a journey where once upon a time you could justify registering a card called Voice of Resurgence. And that journey involves the cards Eternal Witness and Supreme Verdict and Lightning Bolt being played on the other side of the table. Now, when you go on that journey, that's no longer possible. It's just a bad scene for you. It all ends in darkness and self-loathing and lots of sadness. Terminus is the answer. It costs 1 mana. It takes all of your stuff with it. It's not great for it's not great for any of the parties involved. This actually isn't a turn 1 Ravager. I said turn 1 Ravager. I'm wrong. This is turn 1 Springleaf Drum Signal Pest. Still probably okay. I don't know. The hand's kind of mopey. Maybe this was a mulligan. You can click the Miracled card. That's true. That's true. But if you like have click in your deck, you probably have other good cards in your deck too. So like you're not registering Voice of Resurgence. There aren't many like Voice of Resurgence Vendilion click decks. Some Godok Teagues. Godok Teague's a great hate card. You can't get him in response to a Terminus, but he does prevent Terminus from happening. Man, for all the haters out there, this one goes out to you. In response to Miracle Trigger, you can get Teague, but then they still like can just path Teague in response to Miracle Trigger still. Whereas like cards like Selfless Spirit, the Supreme Verdict resolves and then you keep your stuff. Maybe they have a Dismember. Tron plays Dismember in the main deck sometimes. Teague is also awkward in your Court of Calling Collected Company deck. Look at that, chat. People giving my Tron opponent crap. They had a real decision to make. Calm down. Calm down. Yes, double black means you can equip it instant speed. This is just like the natty Tron draw, isn't it? So when you do this like I did, this is a Moto interface thing. If you right click on these, you can see newly controlled to make sure I'm tapping the one that's summoning sick here. You don't wanna make that boo-boo. Slide this hat over here. If a Tron player has any kind of meaningful decisions to make in a game, do they get to file for comp? Generally speaking, yes, that is the procedure. If Stoneforge Mystic gets unbanned, what deck would become very popular? I don't think there's anything that would become too super popular. They have Spatial Contortion too. Warping Whale maybe? They have a Karn next turn now, we could be in trouble. Why do subs get timed out less? Subs get timed out less because they pay my bills. I wouldn't be here without them. They've paid for my ability to be here timing people out. Without the subscribers, I wouldn't be here to time people out. So they get some more leeway. They could be Bluetron, that's true. This much interaction in the main tends to indicate Bluetron. I def try and play Stoneblade decks until I lost all my tickets. Yeah, there would be a lot of people. On Magic Online, if Stoneforge Mystic was unbanned, it would instantly be popular for a long time on Magic Online, just like Bloodbraid and Jace were, because everybody would want to play with the new toys. That being said, in paper, we probably wouldn't notice that much of a change. Because paper is much slower to adapt, and you only see wide sweeping adaptations in paper if something's like really truly busted. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to equip to Arcbound Ravager there, huh? Because it would stay on him. Alright. So Thoughtseize Stubborn Denial matchup. It is not a Etched Champion matchup. It is a Damping Sphere matchup. Yeah, Tron lives and dies by how you mulligan and what your opening hands are. The deck mulligans better than most decks in the format. So Galvanic Blast is kind of medium. I think Blast is better than Ancient Grudge though. We'll leave 2 in. I think Welding Jar is supposed to stay in here. Welding Jar saving like a Cranial Plating from a Nature's Claim or a Oblivion Stone seems very reasonable. Do I look like a coward? Nah, I block warriors. I ain't splitting nothing. All in for these Galvanic Blasts. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get them. Killing Planeswalkers can be exceedingly relevant. Killing a Karn after it down ticked without having to dedicate an attacker to it or not having a non-summoning sick attacker in play can be very relevant. Also, Galvanic Blast can often just be Time Walk. Just like kill you a turn sooner. This hand's great. We get to go Citadel, Springleaf Drum, Untitled Pest. And then Damping Sphere on 2 potentially. If it doesn't look like they're going to have Tron set up, we'll play Steel Overseer on 2. But if they're threatening turn 3... Oh, they're playing this deck. Everything makes so much more sense now. I get it. I understand. I understand. Yeah, we didn't get to black-white tokens last night. Justin cut in Jeskai control, believe it or not. And that took up the rest of the evening. Gruul midrange died very quickly because it's not the style of deck that's very good in Modern. You'll be able to catch that video on YouTube later, as always. That explains why they had a bunch of bad interactive cards in their Tron deck instead of doing Tron things. I'm so happy that the icons for what's it called icons appear on the stream now. So I really would prefer not to get Thoughtseize next turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and play Wet Ball out here. I think. Yeah, they're just playing Eldrazi Tron. Get to attack for 3 here, assuming they have no Doom Blades. And I think it's important to Damping Sphere this turn so I don't get Thoughtseize next turn. Because, like, they didn't have a play this turn, so if they didn't have a play this turn, it's pretty likely they don't have a play next turn either if I Damping Sphere. So it's kind of like casting a Time Walk. Nice non-basic waste opponent. Like to draw a land or a Cranial Plating here. I'm not going to bother casting the Springleaf Drum because it means I have to attack with 1 less thing. So you get hit for 4 this turn, and then we're hitting for 9 next turn. So we can even race this Basilisk Collar on a 4/4, which is nice. I can't cast Drum off of Overseer because of Damping Sphere. Damping Sphere is symmetrical. Yeah, I could have cast Drum first, and then oh yeah, I'd have to tap 2 creatures. Yeah, then I could have gone tap my Ornithopter, tap my Ornithopter. It just wasn't worth it though. This has been a quick league. Nice deck full of 4 and 5 mana spells, opponent. Nice deck full of 4 and 5 mana spells. Alright, well we're 4-0. Slow and steady. After this league is done, we got some black-white tokens coming up. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. I appreciate it. Reveal the cards I registered. Yep. Listen, if you register, I don't know, let's say 15 plus cards that cost 4 or more mana in Modern, you did it to yourself. You've only got one person to blame, okay? And it's not the person sitting across the table from you. Husker Paul, thank you very much for that brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome. So after playing this league, I think I prefer the Hardened Scales build. I think I really understand why that build is taken over. While you lose some of the flexibility of playing like the rainbow colored cards and Etched Champion, both Walking Ballista and Hangerback Walker give you like this interesting amount of interaction and grind, and Hardened Scales itself gives you a lot of draws that are arguably more explosive than what this deck does. Adnaz, Amulet Titan, or Tron. Yeah, probably Tron. Yeah, some number of Etched Champions are pretty common in the main deck. The card that's a little bit weird in this main deck is these main deck Karns. We actually haven't played matchups in this league where Karn is very good, but Karn is reasonable against like other grindy decks. Decks like, yeah, Hollowed Fountains or like Jundin Green Black and stuff like that. Have a good day at work, Shadows. Thanks for hanging out this morning. Martyr Proc's just one of those decks that's just like, it's one of the 50 decks that exists in Modern, and then like in a top 8 tournament, I'm like, yep, that's a deck someone ran well this weekend. Martyr Proc always consistently feels like it has awkward answers and medium pressure. Just a lot of middling power level cards. One of those synergy decks where when things come together, it's just like fine, and when it doesn't come together, it's like pretty terrible. Suasang, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support there. Thanks for putting your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Arcbound Ravager's not a terrible draw. Yeah, we've played a lot of matchups where the Whipflares have been good. That's definitely true. The best way to gauge if a deck is potentially busted is, has Matt Nass decided to register this deck in recent memory? If yes, yeah, I think this hand's fine. Double Signal Pest plus Blinkmoth outputs a lot of damage pretty quickly, and like any of our payoffs make the hand absurd. The Conquistador, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. I don't know. Is this hand a keep? Anybody want to weigh in on if this hand was a keep or not? I'll wait. Red-green Valakut Titan is the most brain-dead deck in Modern. I could probably write a computer program to play red-green Valakut Titan at, I don't know, 60 or 70% efficiency, which is impressive because, like, computers probably can't play Magic decks most of the time. There's so many variables. Like, so much of what the Valakut type deck is doing just, like, doesn't care about what the opponent's doing. Yeah, I think the hand is plenty reasonable. Oh no! Oh no! They blew up our land, chat! How will I ever be able to win the game of Magic now? Oh no! Oh no! Nice Ponza deck. This matchup's got to be terrible for them, right? Just like really bad. Unless they have like Shatterstorm in their sideboard or a bunch of Ancient Grudges, I have to imagine we're a pretty strong favorite here. Like, one of the many reasons why Ponza is bad is because there's so many decks that get under them in Modern, and this deck's really good at going under people, at least as far as playing to the board goes. Yeah, bye, friend. All right, I'm sure we're about to get slaughtered by sideboard cards here now that I've declared that, but on the surface at a glance, this matchup seems absurd for us. What do we think? Fat Stubby D to try and prevent some sideboard shenanigans from happening? Galvanic Blast, run it. It's a power bottom. You think it's just that important to stop their sideboard cards? Yeah, I could see that. Like, a lot of their creatures we just don't care about, right? Yeah, that's probably true. I like that. I like that, yeah. Well, a lot of artifact hate isn't even that good against KCI. KCI recovers pretty quickly. That seems fine, right? As far as like hands without our disruption goes, this hand seems very reasonable. I'm gonna lead on the mountain here in case they Stone Rain us. Oh, I guess they don't have a hand that can Stone Rain here, huh? Oh, I should probably play Vault Skirge on one, huh? I missed a point of damage here because my sequencing is like medium minus poop. This probably needs to be angered all on its own, honestly. Otherwise, we charge up pretty quickly. Like, they anger us here, I just go triple 1-drop next turn. Yes. Resolves. So am I getting Shatterstormed then? I don't know. Don't name that card. All right, Jen, I'm gonna press my auto pass hotkey and somebody let me know when their turn is over, okay? Did they do it? Can I look? Tell me they didn't do it. Anybody? Chat? Anybody? Are we safe? Can I come out now? Oh. Well, that's adorable. All right, sure. Sure. All right. Maybe I shouldn't play these two. They're dead on board just like what I have. Yeah, that was dumb. I shouldn't have played these. Although I guess playing these is better against Inferno Titan. Because that's a card they play that's probably still in their deck. They kept 7 cards, right? Am I imagining that? Did they keep 7 cards this game? They kept 7 cards. It has to be like Fracturing Gust, right? Like what's the deal with the 7 card keep? Like Fracturing Gust is the only one they haven't had the opportunity to play yet, right? It's the only one. This is right. Like they kept 7 for a reason, right? So if we get gusted here, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely gust. All right, sure. Sure. I deserve that. I shouldn't have played the other Signal Pest and Vault Skirge. Yeah, I shouldn't have played the other Signal Pest and Vault Skirge. That was a mistake. Yeah, they kept 7 for, and that's one of those things that you can think about, right? Like what are we doing here? Did they keep? What possibly could have made them keep? Like what cards could they possibly have? What cards have they already had the opportunity to play, etc., etc. On to game 3. I don't know. We're like a Cranial Plating here. We could race them. Yeah, like, could you imagine if I had, like, Vault Skirge plus another Signal Pest in play right now? We did play green-red mid-range. It was not pretty. It was not particularly pretty. You've killed my Inkmoth Nexus. Alright, let's move along here. Definitely in for these Thoughtseizes and these stubs. Thoughtseize and stubs seems wonderful. I would love to play first. This is a keep. Yep. All right, it gives us something to work towards. The more productive I get to be. So really want to draw a Glimmervoid or a Spire of Industry here. Are they dead next turn? Not quite. This is 3/14. They might be dead next turn if I get to untap with this Overseer again. So next turn I'll be attacking for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm attacking for 15 next turn on board right now. So if this is just Acid Moss, they're dead. Right? I believe they're dead. Did I miscount that? This is 5, this is 4, this is 3, this is 3. 5, 4, 3, 3 is 15. So they're dead on board. Good use of your Arbor Elf. I ain't need no lands, opponent. Ain't nobody need lands. Good job stone raining me. Thumbs up. The classic Hearthstone victory. There weren't even more than 6 permanents on either side of the table either. Look at that. Look at that. Got that sweet 5-0. Look at that. Look at how many trophies we have. We have 11 trophies playing the decks we play on this stream. If you really like this deck, this archetype, I think this deck's plenty playable. You know, this is the format where there's so many decks that are playable. We actually hit a 5-0 with one of the blue-white control decks. Honestly, I wonder, and this is an interesting thought, I really like Hardened Scales versus the field, but I wonder if this deck is better against blue-white control than Hardened Scales is. Both Stubborn Denial and Thoughtseize are great cards to have access to in a matchup like that, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this archetype was a little bit better than the ones playing Hardened Scales in that matchup. So maybe if you really like Arcbound Ravager and you haven't tried this against the Terminus decks, and those are giving you a hard time with the Hardened Scales list, maybe try a more traditional Affinity style list like this. So, all right, what are we doing here? Up next,